Hi there, I'm Fee PL from the Left Perspective. I'm a white-skinned, short, green and brown, very messy-haired human in a blue t-shirt, coming to you from an unnamed hospital on unceded Ngunnawal and Ngambri lands with an announcement. I am in hospital for suicidal ideation. I'm not proud of this. I am here because I am alone. I am here because the NDIS funding that has determined that I have a psychosocial disability and therefore do not have the appropriate informal supports in my life to engage fully in an ordinary life is unable to be used in any way that benefits me. I have had to today rehome a dog that I was told could be my assistance animal and then was fraudulently claimed to my plan. I have had to fire the support coordinator who was working with me for all of this year, who is now being investigated by the NDIS Quality and Safeguards for massive amounts of fraudulent activity and misappropriation of my funding. In a 3-year plan with almost $500,000 worth of funding, I have less than $1,000 left in support coordination after only 4 months of that plan being active. My podcast was put in jeopardy by this woman, and I now have to find a funding grant to cover $10,000 in podcast fees, in production fees. The podcast is still going ahead. The podcast studio has been very supportive, but I am a single person delivering that podcast. I don't have the capacity to pay my rent. At the moment, my rent is only covered until mid-September. I am making my way through this world with the bits and pieces of very small payments of co-design work. Most of what I am doing is pro bono at the moment. Please, if you have seen a theme in my post, which is that I'm not doing okay, let me confirm for you that you are correct in hearing that theme. But if you have a desire to reach out to me to check if I'm okay, and then your response is to say, well, I hope you can rely on the supports that you have, please understand this. I don't. My psychiatrist will tell you that the worst place for me to be is in an inpatient unit, in a mental health unit, because of the years of iatrogenic trauma that I've experienced in these places and the reasons I do the work I do as a member of the consumer movement and the psychiatric survivor movement and a peer worker. This here is my room. I don't have a bathroom. This bathroom looks like it belongs in a prison cell. This is the state of mental health services in the ACT in 2022 in a post-pandemic world. This is not support. None of what I have is support. I have the limited support I can receive from family and friends who are all pushed to the breaking point because of their own commitments to keeping up with their own lives. That's it. When I put up a post a week ago on Twitter about the horrific nature of the conditions that I am forced to engage with, people thought it was helpful to point out the ways in which I couldn't self-harm with the design of this bathroom. I am stepping away from social media. The podcast post will still happen. I will share information for your organisation if I think it aligns with the values of what I am seeking to achieve in mental health reform. I will continue to post about arts engagement that I believe is helpful for our souls. But I cannot keep doing this. I tried to step away from social media last year and I realised how isolated I had become. I stepped back into social media and I was gobsmacked by the amount of people that felt it was their right to educate me on things that they didn't think I knew. If you care about me, then send me a text and I will send you my private number. But if you want to alleviate your guilt in doing so, I will block you. My work phone will remain on for work purposes because I can't knock back work even in hospital, even in this state. because the support coordinator who is now under investigation has blown a hole in our lives. But please, in the lead up to World Suicide Prevention Day, I reiterate what I said in my blog post last year. Don't reach out and ask do not reach out and ask, are you okay? If you're afraid that you can't do anything to help, if you cannot simply sit and hold space and sympathise with people and let them grieve and tell them it's okay and that you will be there for them, please leave us alone. Because when we talk about the social model of disability, we're talking about the impairments we place in people's ways to participating in a full life. And when we're talking about suicide prevention, those impairments are the ways in which we imbue social isolation. Catch you on the flip.